it yes, I think it's very important to continue educating people
Okay.
and enforcing the law to prevent domestic violence.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a very good one. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for coming up with that. That's a very good one. Yes. I think people should do that. Even the government itself. I mean, the government should actually keep on working on that, so that they can act, so that people can, so that the rate of violence, uh, decrease, because they should do that. They should keep on doing that, because sometimes they only think about themselves, like, okay, violence, zero violence, okay, we just fought off, everything is fine, like, but they should actually do that so they can keep fighting against domestic violence. It happens a lot, unfortunately. Even the ones who work in the government, sometimes they do that in their houses. That's very unfortunate, because it happens everywhere. When we talk about social classes, even the head of the country, they can become very abusive people in their houses. So it happened. That's very unfortunate. So we have to keep. I mean, keep on. I mean, the government and everybody should keep on working on that. So what would you do if you knew there was domestic violence in? I mean, in the house or the apartment next to yours, for example, what do you do as a person? So Diary, what do you do if you have, for example, if you see domestic violence taking place in the house, for example, at your house, or in the house next to yours?
So I will plank up and pick up all my energies try to try to stop that violence. But it's true that sometimes it's easy to have the courage before seeing it, but when you are in the scene, maybe your courage shrink. So I don't know what I will
Courage,
say. I will
courage,
do. Uh,
courage,
courage, courage.
courage. Yes, courage.
Okay, my courage will shrink, so I
Oh,
don't know exactly what I will do in that situation. But of course, I will call to 001, no, 112.
okay, okay.
092 is the police, and 112 is the emergency call. So I will call the emergency call, the emergency phone, and I will say, I will warn them about the situation. If I can't approximate and make the situation colder, I will do it, but I don't know if it is possible. Maybe the most the most logical one should be called to the emergency phone and wait
Like the emergency one.
the emergency ones and wait.
Emergency, okay. Okay, okay, got you. So I have a question. Like before we go to Raquel, but I mean, for example, if you got there and then they say they for example, if there's someone next to your door, for example, next to your door or next to your apartment, for example, or your neighbor is actually abusing, it can be a verbal abuse or physical abuse, abusing someone, for example, in the house. So if you got there and the person tells you, "Hey, get out of here," like, this is none of your business. Like, what are you going to do about that? It's like, okay, you are there to help the person, because they may end up doing something they will regret later. Sometimes because of the physical abuse, it can most of the time it's physical abuse. People end up doing things that end up regretting later. So I don't know what are you going to do about that, for example.
Could you repeat, please?
No, it's like you are there to help them, and then they just yell at you, or they shout, they yell at you like, hey, get out of here, like this is none of your business, you better keep away from here, you better back off. We say like very those aggressive words. I don't like those words. Like you better back off. Like back off is like okay, just back off. You better just leave. Because sometimes when they are abusing people, they don't want intruders. They don't want intruders. They don't want other people to interfere. You know. So the only way out will be calling 919. I mean 001. So what if the person is being abused, is about to die? Are you going to wait for the police to show up?
So, well, in my case, as a medicine and as a doctor, I
Okay.
wouldn't. It's not my it's my obligation to be there for the patients. So I will try to keep him or her in life before just until the emergencies team come. But it's true that if they say you to go back or to back off, and you don't have any other help, you don't have any other way to come in and try to fix it,
To go
so
in, go in.
to go in to go in and try to fix it, is better to go back. So I think that first you go first. You as a person, you go first. Your security is the first thing, and after your security, it comes the security of the second ones.
Yeah, your safety comes first. I think you just wanted to say that your safety comes first.
Yes,
Yeah.
safety come first. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's go. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. So Raquel, what do you have to say about that?
If I experience that act of domestic violence, I personally will call the police or social services and try to help the victim safely. Because even if I want to confront the aggressor, I think it's not safe for me. As my classmate was saying, your safety comes first. So, but that doesn't mean you can't help people. It's like you have to be, mm, I don't know how to say the word. Mm, yes, you have to be safe.
Yeah, it's like you will be helping others, but on the other hand, you will be very careful with yourself.
Careful. That's what I meant. Careful.
Okay,
Yes.
careful. You
Thank
have
you.
to be careful, even though you want to help others, but you have to take care of yourself first. Of yourself first, because if you get there, sometimes the aggressors, they can jump into you, and then they can actually, you may be one of the victims. You know, they can actually attack you, and the sometimes you actually get injured by for that. I know that there are so many people have get hurt just because they wanted to help others, from escaping from the aggressor. Is there much education about or awareness of domestic violence in your country? Diary, what about,
Could you repeat the question?
like, is there much education or awareness of of domestic violence in your country?
Oh, yeah. As my partner said, Rachel said before, there is still a lot of education we should give to the population, to citizens,
To the
uh,
citizens.
citizens about domestic violence,
Okay.
because when you are in certain places and what you receive this education, because if you are, for example, a doctor, if you
Yes.
are a social manager, if
Okay.
you are
No, go on, go on, go on.
if you are a social manager, for example, you receive this type of education, but it is a tiny, very tiny part of your curricular education. So it is not enough. It is not enough. This education, it is not enough. It should be more. It should be more broader, in order to give you
Brother,
the
yes.
to give you enough tools to fight against this type of violence.
Violence.
So I think that it should be more. It should have more education about the domestic violence.
Yeah. Yeah, true. That's true. That's true. Yes. So, Rachel,
Yes, I think there are campaigns and programs in Spain to raise
okay.
awareness. Oh my God, about domestic violence.
Awareness.
Yes,
Okay.
and support victims. Like in schools, they teach you about the gender-based violence,
Violence. Yeah.
and yes, but still, domestic violence continues to happen, which
Yeah.
shows that the awareness itself is not enough. And it is important to keep educating and supporting people, like I said before, and encouraging the victims to seek help.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So I think before moving to, because the next one is has to do with the instance domestic violence. But could you please, I mean, Derry, could you please tell me? I think you as a doctor, I think we have something in common here, but we will talk about it later. So do you have any? I mean, do you have a? I mean, do you know what are the causes? I mean, what are the main causes or the reason why people? I mean, or the rate? I mean, why? I mean, do you know one? What are the causes? Yeah, the causes. Yes, the reasons for the people like abusing each other's like very often. What are the reasons? What are the main reasons for the rate of violence raising, keep up raising?
So I think that has to be with neurological system. There are neurological and psychological and I don't know how to say sensitive system. So
Okay.
it is about the amygdala. The amygdala is
Amygdala, that is the name. Amygdala.
the amygdala is
Okay.
uh, is an organ we have in our brain,
Right, yeah.
and in our brain, and there are numerous systems that connects with the amygdala, with the brain, with the
Okay.
cerebrus. So
Brain, that's brain.
with the brain, yes, with the brain.
Brain.
Eh, when it comes to the brain, to certain part of the brain, and the pallidus nucleus,
Okay.
uh, we tend to
Not
have we tend to have a exaggerated reaction,
reaction.
overreaction.
Overreaction, yes,
We
yes.
react against something we are seeing. For example, the amygdala controls our feelings, our good
Feelings, yes.
feelings, and our bad feelings. So it has to be with the amygdala, with connection with the amygdala.
Oh, okay, good.
I don't
Thank you.
know if I had answered to your question.
No, no, it's like just like I said, we have something in common as well. It's like I know that you know I am a teacher, but there's something else I do. That's why I say when you say that I'm a doctor, I say wow, there's something else. Yeah. So
Yes.
it's like we have something in common. So when you explained me, I got it. I got it. It has to do with that. I just wanted to know, but I just wanted something a little bit like different. Like I don't know if before I say what I want right now. I just want Raquel to say something about this, like the reasons, yes,
The reasons
the main reasons, yes,
of the domestic violence, do you
yes,
mean?
yes, yes.
Mm, well, I don't know how to explain myself, but do you mean the biological reasons, the physiological reasons, or just the
No,
because I don't know what to talk about?
okay, biological and those ones no, because myself I know that Diary is a doctor, and I say that we have something in common. It's okay. That's okay. Don't worry about that. So I just wanted
Mhm.
to know if there is something else. For example, when you use like drugs, this kind of stuff, because sometimes people, yeah,
Yes.
that is the reason that I just wanted to expand it, not only thinking about biological stuff, or reasons.
Mm, yes. Like, also stress.
Okay.
I think jealousy.
Okay.
Like, they want to reproduce. I don't know how to pronounce it right.
Reproduce.
Uh, repro-
Reproduce.
patterns they
Reproduce, yes.
saw. Yes,
Okay.
patterns they saw in their family. It's like, I think it's a combination of personal, social, and cultural factors, like, or even social beliefs, I think, too.
Okay, but I just for example, when it comes to violence, there are
Mhm.
people who do drugs, the ones who use drug very
Yes.
often. Those people sometimes they become so aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
because you know
Yes.
what, I think even Derry will understand. Even you may understand as well. It's like when we use drugs, sometimes it changes the way our brain, our like our brain works. It
Mm-hmm.
changes almost everything. It's like we are not in control. We cannot control our emotion, just like we talked a little bit earlier, that sometimes when it comes to domestic violence, when people get so emotional, they lose control of themselves, especially their mind. They act
Yes.
as if they don't have brain at all. You
Mm.
see, so those I mean, that like drugs, even yeah, drugs may be one of the reason why people become so aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
That may be one of the reason. Even drugs, even drinking, for example, the ones who drink alcohol excessive, the ones who drink alcohol excessively, sometimes they become very aggressive, because at
Yes.
home, yeah, they can violate, they can abuse each other's, it can be like a brother, sister, children. There are people who do that. It's like, okay, they drink beer and they get home. Once they got home, they start hitting everybody. They
Mm-hmm.
start beating everybody around. It's like, yeah, and people don't have peace at home. They don't live a peaceful life when, for example, a father or a mother drinks beer, for example, and sometimes they overreact, just like what Derry said. They overreact. Sometimes they beat each other. They beat their wife. They beat their. Sometimes the wife they beat her husband and beat the children and stuff. It happens a lot, and even people report that. That's why I wanted. That's why the time I asked you, what would you do if you see that? Because sometimes it stems from, it is caused by alcohol, and drugs. So, Dari, do you have anything to say about this?
No, I think I'm agree. I agree with you, both of you. Yes, when you consume drugs, it has also some reaction with the serotonin and there are different hormones that are released
Hormones. Yes.
in the nervous in the nervous system. So
Nervous, nervous, nervous system.
nervous system, so
Yes.
they stimulate you to have a different reaction, maybe a soft one or an aggressive one, depending of the drug.
Yeah, it depends on the drug. It's like, for example, it affects, like, for example, dopamine. Do you know dopamine, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
when the drugs, when you drink, when you do drugs, when you use drug, some it affects your dopamine. Actually, it's going to be like I know that people, there are people who feel satisfied by that. It's like when they do drugs and they feel okay with themselves, like, wow, this is cool, man. They start laughing. They feel like there are people who don't know how to deal with stress. Whenever they're stressed, they have to use drug. They have to drink beer, like alcohol, this kind of stuff, so they can feel okay with themselves. There are so many people who do that. For example, the ones who run away from the problems, when there is a problem, they actually do drug. I mean, they use drugs. They drink alcohol so they can feel okay. It's like, okay, I just want to, cool, to cool off. I just want to relax a little bit because I'm not handling, I'm not dealing with stress, in a peaceful way. It's like it's not easy to cope with stress. So many of them, there are many people who start uh, drinking beer or smoking or even using drugs because of stress. They find themselves in a very hard time. For example, when they go through very hard time in life, they decide of doing drug, even smoke, so they can, we say that relief, they have that sense of relief. It's like, okay, wow, that it's like, yeah, this feels good. They say, wow, this feels good. Wow, that's very, and they start doing that, and they become very addicted. Sometimes addiction, those people become very addicted to a drug or beer because of that. They try it one, twice, three times, and then, yeah, fine. My body sometimes, from that time on, that doesn't depend on them. It's like their body demands that. It's like, okay, I need it. I need the drug so that I can feel okay with myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Yes.
happens. It's like you are not in control anymore. It's like your body. Sometimes that's why many people, when they are very addicted, they start overreacting, and they do all they can so they can find money, or they can get money so they can buy beer or buy a drug, so they can feel okay with themselves. It's like they are not in control of their body no more. They are not in control no more. It's like they lost, and their bodies, like, yeah, right now it's like, the drugs need them to keep using drugs. So that's exactly how people become addicted to drugs, and eventually they become very aggressive people as well. So I think the last but one, do you know any of instance of domestic violence? I think you all said about that. It's like there are so many places that people go to so they can report violence, like domestic violence. I think you all say that. So let's go to the last one. Do you think? I mean, the last one from part one. I think tomorrow, or maybe, yeah, tomorrow we'll continue with the part two. But do you think the aggressor of domestic violence grew up in an environment of domestic violence and child abuse? Like, what do you think about this, Dari? Let's start. No, yeah, yeah. Let's start with you.
Yes, generally, this type of violence are come from a dysfunctional family. It
Okay.
could be a family with a or a broken family. It could be a family which has well, antecedents of domestic violence,
Okay.
antecedent of abuse of alcohol, drugs, or other substance, but
Okay.
it is a dysfunctional family, from a family which hasn't enough feelings of love or caring.
Okay.
So it is. I think that generally it's that is the background of the bylaws.
Violence. Okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you, Raquel. I think we're going to wrap up with you now.
Yes. I think it's possible that the aggressor grew up in an environment with domestic violence. Like many people who witness violence in their family
Okay.
may learn unhealthy ways to solve conflicts or reproduce abusive patterns.
Okay. That's
However, growing up in that environment does not justify their actions. I think everyone is responsible for their behavior.
exactly. No,
Mhm.
that's true. That's true. That's very no. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's very productive, and thank you so much. I hope to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think we are going to have a class. I think in the same time. Yeah. So today, I think we
Yes.
took longer. Today we took longer. So I would like to keep up talking about this. I have many more interesting topics so we can discuss. So we can keep up practicing as well.
Okay.
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 Perfect.
Okay. Perfect.